Hi guys, so today we're going to be doing a foundation review on the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir. I've got mine in natural beige and I ended up spending $9.98 at Walmart. I was looking at the receipt. I've heard a lot of, mixed feelings about this foundation, but I wanted to give it a try because I do have kind of a drier face during the summer months, so I tend to wear more hydrating type of foundations, and I thought this would be a really good one to try out. This foundation has vitamin E, vitamin B3 and vitamin B5, so it has really nice ingredients in it, which I'm really happy with. Got mine in neutral beige because I do kind of have a neutral undertone, but I'm a beige color, so we'll see how that works. And then this says it's a lightweight full coverage makeup, includes a complex of SPF 20 vitamins and antioxidants, and then it's oil free. So we're gonna go ahead and put it on. I do have a neutralizing concealer on right now, and it is the brightening concealer from Benefit. I'm using that today because I'm doing a test on that as well in another video, so I hope that that's okay. But it's just here under the eyes and then just like a little few spots here that I don't like, and that's something that I would do every single day. So we're gonna go ahead and go in with the brush on one side, and then we're gonna go in with the blender on the other. So let's go ahead and shake this up. And I'm going to do two pumps here, and hopefully I can use 2 pumps for the whole face. So I'm just going to dab this on with my finger here, and then I'll brush it in, and then we'll see how it works. It does have kind of a florally scent to it. It's like a florally clean scent. It's more like a face wash scent, so if you don't like stuff like that, you may not like that, but I don't mind the scent. It's not overpowering like the Estee Lauder stuff can be pretty overpowering, so this isn't too overpowering for me. So I'm just going to go in with the brush and see how that works. I think this color will be really good for me. And I did hear that this oxidizes a little bit, so I think once it oxidizes, it'll be a really good cover match for me. So far, I like the way it feels on the face. It feels very light, but I feel like the coverage is doing really well. Even in the spots that I already had like a little, that brightening concealer there, it did cover that up really well. So I like that. Doesn't seem like I need to use a lot of it, so that's really good. And I do have that brightening concealer under the eyes, but it doesn't seem to be adding any extra layers of anything in there. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a little bit more on my finger here and then see what I can do about the parts of my face that I didn't use the concealer. Let's see how that works. It says it's a full coverage, so it does look like it's more of a medium coverage. I guess you could probably build it up to a full coverage, but I'm not going to do that today because I'm more comfortable now with my face than I have been in a really long time, and I'm more comfortable with a lighter coverage, not a full coverage. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just leave it at that. So here's the side without the foundation. And then here's the side with the foundation. I think it looks really nice. And this is the brush side. So let's go ahead and go in on the other side with the blender and let's see how that works. See if it shears it out too much. And because normally when you use a damp blender, it does shear out the foundation to the point where you need more. But let's see what happens. So far the blender seems to be blending it out really well. And it doesn't seem to be taking away any of the coverage. So that's really good. I mean, that normally never happens when you use a blender. Like I said earlier, it will usually take away the coverage and then you end up having to add more of the foundation. So I tend to use a blender when I want a sheerer coverage than normal. So I actually blended in really well, really quick with blender, which is normally how that works. And it seems to be looking pretty similar on both sides. So yeah, I think it does. I think that you can either go with the blender or you can go with a brush. Of course, the blender was a little bit quicker than the brush was, or maybe because I was just talking a little bit, but I think both sides look very similar in the forehead and under the eyes and everywhere else. So it's not gathering in the nose area where I normally get gathering, and it's not gathering in the lines on my forehead or on the sides of my face here where I have some really thin like crow's feet, which is really good. And I think the coverage is good as to where I want the coverage to be. Like I said, I'm sure you could build the coverage, but I'm not going to do that today because I really don't want a lot of coverage. It's a little dewy right now, so we're going to let it dry down. I am going to be using a setting powder today, and it's going to be the Coty Air Sponge, just so you know. So I'm going to go ahead and call this time that we have the foundation on. It is 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:08 in the morning. I'm going to wear it for as long as I can today and see how it works. I shall be right back to show you what makeup looks like on top of it and how other makeups actually work. I think it looks really natural. I have a lot of other makeup on top of it. I do have a concealer. I have a couple of concealers on. I have a really dark eye going on and kind of a really dark lip. I did use the Fiona Styles in Lex for blush today, and then I did use my Tarte palette to contour. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good. And then I am testing out the new Kat Von D Shade and Light Glimmer palette. That's what I have in my eyes today, if you want to know. And that review will be coming up soon. But anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and go about my day. I'll come back at midday, and then I'll come back at the end of the day to show you what the foundation looks like. I didn't set it. Let me go ahead and set it real quick with the setting spray, which is something that I always do, which I didn't do today. I did set my under eyes with the Coty Airspun, but that was about it, just the under eyes. I didn't set the rest of my face. So alright, so I'm just setting the foundation with the Scandinavia makeup finishing spray. So hopefully that will help. I always set my makeup with the setting spray, so it's not something that I would just be doing for one of these videos. So if you don't set your makeup with a setting spray, it may fade away a little bit quicker than normal. So alright, so this is what it looks like. I will talk to you guys here in about 4 to 5 hours to show you what it looks like at then, and then I'll come back at the end. So I'm back. It is now 1:27. I hope you can see that in the afternoon. So I think we've had this on for about 6 hours, or maybe 5 hours. 5.5 hours to 6 hours. I can't remember if we started at 7 or at 8 o'clock. So I am getting just a tad bit oily here, which is okay. That's normal for my skin, but it doesn't look bad at all. So it wouldn't be anything that I would be worried about at all. It's not gathering in the nose at all. It hasn't started separating anywhere here where normally I do get some separation, and right here I normally get some separation, which it's not doing, not at all. It's definitely not gathering in the lines of my forehead and or on the sides of my eyes here. It's not gathering. So far I'm really liking it. I don't know that I have any blotting papers. Let me check. I think maybe I do. Here we go. Right over here. I have some blotting paper. So let me just go ahead and blot real quick and see if we can get some of the oils off. Definitely a little oily. It's not taking off the foundation as I'm blotting, which is good. And I have been wearing glasses, so under the nose pads it seems to be doing okay. I didn't put too much foundation on my nose today, so if you put a lot, I don't know that it would be okay, but so far in the last 5.5 to 6 hours it's been okay. So okay, I just blotted and my face looks really good, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with another 4 hours or so. So it is 1:30-ish now, so I'll come back at about 5 o'clock, and then we'll see. That would be, I think, a 10-hour day or so. See how this foundation's been working out. But I think so far it's doing really well, and I really like it. So hopefully it doesn't break up or do anything weird in the next couple of hours. But aside from that, I'm enjoying it, and I shall be back in a couple of hours to show you what it looks like. Alright guys, it is now the end of my day. It is 6:07 in the evening. So we've had the foundation on since 8 o'clock this morning, and it has now been 10 hours that we've had it on. I feel like the foundation looks pretty good for the most part. I do have some oils coming through. I'm going to just take my little blender here and just pack some of those oils off. I did have to blot the last time I came through at 1 o'clock for the check-in, just because some of the oils were coming through at that point too, which is pretty normal for my face because I do have an oily T-zone. But for the most part, I feel like this foundation has really lasted through the 10 hours and the heat. I was shopping today, I cooked today, I cleaned a little bit, and then I took care of my husband because he's injured. So I think it has lasted for a good 10 hours, and I do like this foundation. I'm just going to get a little bit closer and look at it. It never gathered in any of my lines in my forehead. My pore area looks really well. It doesn't look like it's they're enlarged or anything like that, and there's no foundation residue here on the corners of my nose, where normally I do get foundation that kind of builds there. The sides of my eyes look pretty good, and I feel like the coverage for the most part is still there. This foundation does say that it is a full coverage foundation, and I never did build it up to full coverage. I just put one layer on each side, and I feel like it still looks good. All of the rest of my makeup has stood on really well throughout the day with it, so I feel like this is a really nice foundation. I will continue to use this, and I will repurchase this once I run out. I do like this. Now, I don't know how well it would be in the winter months because my face tends to change a little bit during the winter, but for right now in the summer and the heat, it's lasting really well on my face. I think it looks pretty good for the most part. I didn't have any fading away in areas. I like the way it looks on my face. I was really quite surprised by it because I watched a few different reviews of people just not liking this foundation at all, and pretty much them saying that at the end of the day it was completely off their face. I don't feel like it's done that with my face. I feel like it's done its job and it has lasted. I feel like also I did have somebody on Instagram ask me what my thoughts were on this if you had dry skin, and I feel like it would actually be pretty good for dry skin because it never really matted out on my face, and it just felt really moisturizing, and I didn't feel like I had anything on my face either. So I feel like if you have dry skin, that this might be something that you might want to give a try and see how it works for you. It's not very expensive. I think it was like $9.98 at my local Walmart store. I think you can get the same price at Ulta if you needed to order online. It actually reminds me a lot of my Boots No. 7 foundation. Where is that? Oh, this one here. The Stay Perfect. It actually reminds me a lot of this. So for I get just a little bit more oily with this one than this one, but I like it. So, alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know if you have any questions about it. I'm going to continue to wear it throughout the weeks and see if my opinion changes on it, and I'll let you know if you have any questions about it. But I do have my color in Natural Beige 740 if you are anywhere near the color that I wear. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this foundation, if you tried it, if you liked it, if you hated it, what your initial thoughts are, and if you're still enjoying it or if you now hate it after you've used it for a while. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, now would be a really good time to do so. And I shall talk to you guys sometime within the week. Bye!